I'm on the trail leading up to the campsite that I'm hoping is available. It's a big part of the reason why I took Friday off work, was to hopefully end up out here while no one, or before anyone else gets out here. But of course I ended up leaving later than I wanted to. It's 10:57. I can't hold my phone stable enough on this for you to see that. It's basically 11. Took up more of my afternoon than I thought getting a video edited and posted last night, so then I was delayed on getting loaded. So I was loading up this morning, and you see what time we're ending up out here. You can't ever beat the retired guys. For a group of retired guys wants to camp, they're out here whatever day, part of the week that they want to get out here. I'm going to drive as far as I can, and then I guess I'm going to walk in from there. I got the camper, obviously, and I don't want, this road gets really narrow eventually, and I don't want to have to back up more than I have to if there is someone in there. So I'm going to go a little farther, and I know there's like one little field right before I get there that I could always get turned around and if I have to, and then I'll walk in from there. Road's getting narrower and rougher. This is the worst part around this corner. It's like a little, kind of like a little ravine. You gotta drive down and back up the other side. I probably actually should go ahead and put the truck in 4 high for climbing up that other side. This long wheelbase that this truck has makes it really not get good traction going up a hill that's very loose. Yeah, see, this is it right here. I've been through here before when that little stream at the bottom has a whole lot more water in it than that. I know it's not too bad because one of my friends got his mom's minivan back here one time. He did have a hard time climbing up this other part of the hill though. Scraped the front bumper on the ground. Hitch scraped too. Looks like the camper actually didn't scrape too bad. Well, there's some firewood. So yeah, right here, this little clearing area is probably where I'm gonna stop because this is tall grass, but there's nothing in it. I could always back up into it and get turned around. If there's someone in here, like right here, isn't bad. But I'm gonna stay. I'll pull over onto this little side trail, I guess, in case someone does come through here on four-wheeler or something, they can get around me. Up that little trail that I parked the truck on, there's a gate right here-ish, so you can't drive a vehicle up there, but we've walked up there. It's a public National Forest gate. It says walk-in area only, so you can still go up there. You just can't drive up there. There's a really cool field up there with a good view of the sky. And it's crazy. We've taken like long exposure pictures of the sky up there before, and even as far away from any of the cities as we are, you can actually see the lights, because like Northwest Arkansas is like this direction, and you can see the lights from like Fayetteville, Springdale, Rogers in the sky on a long exposure photo of the sky. Look at that old rock wall. Mud hole doesn't look like it's been driven through in a while, so that's a good sign. Got one more mud hole, and the campsite's right up there, right around. Comes back and then back around. I've been camping here for 3 years now, I think. I found this spot a couple years ago on my dirt bike, And this trail was a lot more grown up and secluded. I think a lot of other people found it at the same time as me. Because when I first found this place, it felt really remote. And this trail has become pretty well traveled since then. It looks like a kind of fresh tire track right there. Yeah, so does that one. It looks empty. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's no one here. Yeah, you can see it would be, if I pulled in here and it was taken, it'd be pretty rough to get turned around here. I have, with my old truck, I have gotten turned around right here before, but I don't think I could do that with my new one. Especially with the pressure of a campsite full of people watching. Yeah, here's the spot. This is my favorite campsite because it's got this old rock stack chimney. So there obviously was a house here at some point of some sort. And there's this little, it looks man-made pond. Creek flows into it and flows out. When it gets really full, it'll flow up and over and down into another creek down here. And it's got this one big old tree right in the middle. The view around here is all really cool. See all the mountains in the distance. And this all goes up to the top. We're on the side of Black Mountain. That's what this mountain that we are on is called. And this creek, if you follow it around, it goes down to two huge waterfalls down there. One's pretty close, one's a little farther, but the second one is the cooler one. But it is quite a walk because you're walking down the mountain the whole way there. So it's easy to get there, but it's hard to get back. There is this little logging road. They logged down here like 4 or 5 years ago. And when they logged it, they made this little trail. I don't ever drive a truck down it. I actually don't ever drive anything down it. We always walk down it. I've always dreamed of driving something down it so we don't have to drive back up, or walk back up, I mean. What do you guys call these things? I always called them hedge apples. That's what my dad called them. But I heard a lot of people call them, got a friend that calls them brain fruit. Got a friend that calls them, I think I've heard people call them crab apples, which I really don't think that's what they are. We've always called them hedge apples. They're not very apple-like at all. This tree drops a lot of them. They're always right here. Let me get back to my truck. Hate to leave it alone in the woods like that. I'm gonna take a closer look at this rock wall real quick. I've always seen this thing. I've never really stopped and looked at it. So I assume this would have been a part of that, where the property that house was on, where the chimney is. I wonder, you really wonder what purpose they had of building this. Was it, I don't know, I mean, it kind of looks like this could be a waterway, or could have been at some point. So it makes you wonder if this was a dam that they built or something else. And you wonder what purpose they had of building a wall this big. There's some big rocks in it. I don't know, it is cool though. It's back here. If there wasn't this little trail here, you would never know. And I've come across stuff like this. There's been times when I'll just walk through the brush, not even on a trail, out in national forest, and you'll come across stuff like this, and you wonder how many people have ever even seen it. And how old could that be? All right, so I think I'm just gonna leave the camper hooked up to the truck. I always hate trying to get it hooked back up. It's just one more step the day that you're leaving. I'm about to use these leveler blocks. Since it's hooked up to the hitch, it is sitting a little bit high in the front, but Corey sent me these trailer leveling blocks. that are like interlocking. And I figure now is probably a good time to use it because it's definitely not sitting level. It's low on that side and high in the front. So, well, I just went looking for a rock to put under the jack because it wasn't lifting it up high enough. Look at this. A salamander. You never see those. I guess he's pretty kind of dormant right now. I'll gently set that back over him. I'm sure he's cold, so he's not moving very much. All right, so that shows you how they go together. So I had to pick up this side that much, a little bit, maybe 2 inches, 3 inches. This side had to pick up quite a bit. But we are sitting, obviously I don't have a level, so I'm not getting it, I don't know if I'm getting it like absolutely perfect, but eyeball technology tells me that that is pretty good. Side to side and forward and back. Some of the guys have set tents up right here before, but that always feels a little dangerous with that right there. But that's been there since, I don't know, early 1900s, 1800s, no telling, and not ever blown down. That rock at the top, look at this. That's been there, like I said, I've known about this campsite for either 3 or 4 years. And this rock right here has been hanging out like that the whole time. It's pinched by that rock and it's levered out. Like you can see, like it's not sitting on anything on this side and it's never fallen out all these years. I'm also really surprised at these two not falling in any farther. One of the times I camped here, we were here in a really crazy storm. Wind was blowing, we had tornado threats, it was raining, flooding. This whole area filled up with water, all of this. And we were worried about that chimney blowing down finally, but it never did. I have no idea how many guys are coming this time. It's not gonna be that big of a group. Maybe 9 of us, 6, I guess 6 to 9 of us. They're calling for rain tomorrow, so I'm thinking today, I've got at least 3 guys that I know are coming today. I think we're gonna get ourselves set up and then get a shelter set up. You see I got my big tarp right there. I think that's what I did that time it stormed so bad. We hung a tarp from this tree to that tree. Obviously the tarp's not that long, but we strapped it here and then stretched it. It's 24 feet wide, and then ratchet strapped it from there to that tree and went back to this tree and got ourselves a 12 by 24 rain shelter. I think we ought to do the same thing because they're saying 85% chance of rain tomorrow morning. I'm hoping maybe it's just overnight, but I want to be prepared. Well, I forgot before it started getting below freezing to flush out my water system and winterize it. So I was a little worried my water pump might be busted or something would be leaking, but it looks like the only casualty we have is the sprayer head. This leaks now right there every time you turn it on, but the water pump looks good. We don't appear to have a leak down here or anything. It does sound kind of weird, but everything's working. I just have this now. But I guess I'll just keep that in the sink whenever I turn it on. This was a super cheap faucet set that I put in here, so I'm not surprised at all that that was probably going to start leaking whether it froze or not. But it is what it is. When you spray it, it doesn't leak out of the handle. But yeah, as soon as you let off. Oh well, not too bad. It's better than that water pump. That water pump is kind of expensive. Better than that for being what broke. All right, yeah, check the forecast. 100% chance of rain starting at midnight tonight all the way until about middle of the day tomorrow. Hopefully that means the rain in the morning will be like light, and then maybe by the time we're actually getting up and have eaten breakfast and stuff and ready to start doing stuff, it'll be rolling out. Went ahead and brought my raincoat anyway, but since the camper is only water resistant, if it's in the rain for a long time, it will eventually soak through. So I went ahead and put the tarp on the top. But yeah, I think next I'm gonna get that ladder and then grab my big tarp and see if maybe I can start getting it hung up over here. I'm still waiting on the other guys. They're hour or so out. All right, two of the guys are about 5 minutes out. They just sent me a picture. They're right down on the dirt road working their way here. So figured time for the first one of the camping trip. Saw this stuff at the store yesterday. Look at this. Tastes like chicken vodka. And you might notice this vodka tastes like vodka. It does not actually taste like chicken. Get a nice, simple, responsible drink in here. Tastes like Smirnoff to me. All right, we're about to get to work.
It's not like home, buddy. You're out here in the elements. I wish it was every. Honestly, I mean, it wouldn't change anything. He left before anybody got there.
He opened his tailgate.